On the vast plains of ancient China, winter had hardened the earth into stone. People knelt in silence as a colossal funeral procession passed by. It was the burial of a powerful lord, a ruler feared for his iron fist and blood-soaked reign. His coffin, carved from blackened wood and rimmed with bronze, was lowered into a cavernous two-man underground palace fit for eternity. Torches flickered against painted walls, smoke from incense swirled in the stale air. But beneath the solemn chanting came another sound, muffled sobs. The cries belonged not to mourners, but to the concubines and servants chosen to accompany their master in death. According to the grim custom of retainer sacrifice, when a noble died, his attendants had to follow him into the underworld. The young women were bathed, dressed in silken robes, and painted as though attending a feast. Yet their trembling hands betrayed the truth: they were brides of the grave. Bound slaves shuffled alongside them, their faces pale, eyes wide with terror. A priest, clad in ritual black, raised his staff and thundered, "Your master requires service beyond the veil. Be loyal, as in life, unto death." The drums of mourning boomed. The women were pushed into the yawning pit, one by one. Slaves, bound and helpless, were hurled in after them. Some screamed, some prayed, others bit their lips until blood ran, meeting death with silent defiance. As the soil began to fall, voices rose in a desperate chorus: pleas, curses, wails swallowed by the earth. The darkness below became their eternal prison. But whispers told of something worse still. Among the treasures laid within were wooden and clay effigies of soldiers, yet some of these figures had once been men. Buried alive, entombed in clay, their bodies became grotesque guardians. Half man, half statue, condemned to stand forever in silence. At last, the stone doors rumbled shut. The torchlight vanished. The palace of the dead sealed itself, filled not with peace but with the echo of lives cut short. Centuries later, tomb raiders dug their way inside, lured by the promise of gold and jade. But the first sight that met them was not treasure, it was death. Skeletons lay sprawled across the floor, twisted in positions of agony, bony fingers clawing at the tomb walls. Piles of skulls were heaped beside ornaments, mute witnesses to the horror of retainer sacrifice. One thief staggered back, swearing he heard a woman's whisper drift through the gloom, "We are still here, forever." Panic spread. The intruders fled, leaving behind tools and torches. From that day, villagers spoke of the place as the crying tomb. On stormy nights, wind whistling through cracks in the stone was said to sound like weeping echoes of the concubines and slaves buried alive. Over time, the custom of human sacrifice and burials faded, condemned as cruel and inhumane. Yet archaeologists still uncover grim reminders: skeletons in fetal curls, hands outstretched as if clawing toward the light, faces frozen in a final scream. The grandeur of ancient rulers, it seemed, was often built on the living graves of others. What was called honor then remains, to modern eyes, a shadow of terror sealed in earth and stone.